Hey everybody, and welcome to another instalment of Hitting My Table. This is for the second half of December 2021. So this is a series of videos where I talk about games that are continuing to hit my table, because obviously in this game, or this age of board gaming, so many games come and go. So I think a video like this, or a series like this, is quite valuable to see what has staying power. So this obviously, as I said, covers the second half of December 2021, which covers the Christmas period. So most of these games, in fact all of these games, are of the lighter variety. But before I get into the games themselves, I just want to give a shout out to Kienda.co.uk, who sponsor the show. So if you live in the UK and you like your board games, be sure to check out their great website. But let's crack on with what I've been playing. So first off, I've been playing More Elements, which is a pretty unknown two-player only game that actually rings a lot of bells of a game like Capital Lux, but this is almost like an introductory version of it, where you just have a few cards. I think this is pretty much a micro game. You have these big tableau style cards, and you are basically playing them either in the middle of the table, or you can claim the ones in the middle of the table and put them in front of you. And it's basically like a game of blackjack, but with a moving target, and you need to know when to call it to see if you're closer to that target in the center without going over it. So a really dynamic little game, a lot of luck, but for a game that takes only 15-20 minutes to play, this one is a really good fun actually, and I'm continuing to enjoy it. And I feel like this one has a bit of again, a bit of staying power that you can get to the table regularly with little to no obstacles. So still enjoying Elements. Would it be Christmas without more JustOne? So JustOne has been a consistent hit for me since I picked this one up a couple of years ago now. One of the only games that my dad will actually join in and play and enjoy. But this one I actually played a 6-player game of with some friends and my brother's brother's partner and my partner. And we just had a really good time. Just simple, clean fun. As you are, it's kind of a word association game where you are cooperatively working together. And trying to help somebody guess the word that you are coming up with, but any duplicate clues are cancelled out. Clean, pure fun, no kind of discrepancies in the rules, and just everybody's going to sing from the same hymn sheet when you play JustOne. We did relatively well. I think we got 8 or 9 out of the 13, so pretty good score for JustOne. So always enjoy that one. Also, I've been playing some more Cartagena. So Cartagena, a game that nobody really talks about anymore, but I do think this one is a really nice family weight style game, as you are essentially racing up these modular tracks here, and you're doing that by playing cards and jumping from symbol to symbol. However, if somebody stood on a certain symbol, you jump over them and onto the next one, so you can create these big kind of leaping moves, and you can cover half the board with a single card play, which is quite interesting. If you get left behind, it can get a bit frustrating, which did kind of come through in our game. I still do feel like this one is a little bit too long, so I might in the future consider maybe taking off one of these endgame tiles or one of the modules to make it a little bit more concise and to shave a little bit of time off. But I still think it's a nice crisp design, one that is satisfying when it comes off, but sometimes it feels like you're dragging your toes a bit. But I still enjoy it. I'm on the fence whether I'm going to keep it long time or not, but up to this date I've enjoyed it. And playing I think we played a 5 or 6 player game of it. I think a 4-player game of it, which works really well. So I do enjoy it, but again, it's just a shame it's a tad too long, but still a good game. Talking of classics, we have Lost Cities. So I played a game of Lost Cities with my mum, and I will say this is one game I do really bad at consistently. So another game I was defeated on this one. I think I always try and stretch myself too thin. I ended up putting big multipliers on one of the colours and ended up scoring negative points on that particular column, which scored me a lot of negative points, of course, and cost me getting the victory. But this is still a really classic Reiner Knizia game, a tug-of-war style game, as you are placing cards down on these different columns of different colours, and then trying to get as many points as you can, because you start with an automatic deficit of minus 20 points. So you have to overcome that before you start gaining points. One of the best two-player games out there, and this one goes from strength to strength for me, and I don't really ever see this one leaving my collection. It is that good. That is Lost Cities. Some silly fun now with Drop It. So I played a game of Drop It, a 4-player game on Christmas Day. And in fact, I played 3 games of this one back to back because my dad enjoyed it that much. He played it for the first time. This one is pretty much a toy. It also has that kind of Connect 4 feel to it. So it's got that dexterity twist where you're dropping these colours and shapes into these into this vertical board, which are basically 2 sheets of plastic, and then you're trying to not make colours touch colours or shapes touch shapes, and you score points depending on where they land, on how high up they are on this again on the board. Really fun. It's one of those games that you can't really not enjoy because it is so simple. It has some good kind of dynamic moments where you knock things, they knock things over and they touch things, and you can't really see things coming. Quite wild and unpredictable, but that's what the fun is all about, and certainly one of those games that has a good mash of more traditional board games but still feels new and fresh. So drop it. I managed to get this for a bargain, and that's clearly paid off, and I'm going to keep it around. So that is Drop It. Also been playing another 2-player game with Circle the Wagons. This is a game, obviously it's a button shy game, you can see here in this little wallet. So this is a game, a micro game where you're getting a bunch of these cards that come into these different forms like this. We've got these different symbols, different terrains, and they're divided up into kind of 4 quarters like that, and then you can lay them out, you can cover them over and stuff, trying to achieve certain goals, because on the other side of these cards, let's just pull one out here. You've got objectives like this. We'll say, each row and column with a gun scores 1 point per beer in it. So you've got to do things like that, and sometimes those scoring mechanisms kind of conflict with each other. I do think this is probably one of the best examples of this overlapping system, because a lot of games seem to be using this now. And I like the drafting system, as you put the cards out in a kind of a circle, and then you can skip to take which card you want, but your opponent gets all the ones that you've skipped over. I think that's quite a cool mechanism that could be used again. But I find myself really struggling to get fully invested in these style of games, and again, I think this is a good one. This is a 6.5 out of 10 for me, but I just still have yet to really fall in love with it. So I can't really see this one sticking around much longer, unfortunately. But still, I've had some fun with it. That is Circle the Wagons. Also been playing some more Seven Wonders Duel. So a lot of 2-player games here. I think I had a day where there was just the 2 of us. And we played quite a few of these, but this one, still loving it. Been consistently hitting my table since I picked this one up quite a few months ago now, maybe even at the Games Expo. This one is you can see it's a 2-player version of Seven Wonders Duel. I'm not going to go too much into the rules because I've talked about it kind of ad nauseum. But this one I really focused on a military strategy, and that ended up paying up for me. So I think we got into the 3rd round, but I just managed to catch my opponent off guard and get that final push with that military progress token. The progress token, where if you take military strength you get an extra one, and that ended up getting me the win. But I still love this game. I used the Pantheon expansion again, and I will say this, the second time I played with it felt a lot more seamless, and I managed to, again, I didn't really have the jarring moments that it did the first time. So I really do like that, and again, I'm probably going to keep playing with that expansion. So still loving Seven Wonders Duel. What a fantastic 2-player game. Back onto the party games now. Concept. So we played a 4-player game of Concept on Boxing Day. This one is basically a game of charades, but with a board, and instead of kind of communicating with sounds and stuff, you're just putting these little indicating tokens on all these different clues on the board here. I think we always try to go for the harder clues on the cards because they're normally more interesting. So you can see here you've got like a shopping cart here, so you might have to use the tool symbol and then use the kind of money symbol, and just hope to point your the other members of the game to the right clue to get victory points. I had a very successful game in this one. I think I won every single clue. But I still, regardless of that, I think everybody had a really good time. And this one has really been a grower for me, because initially I was a little bit underwhelmed with it. But I think with the harder clues, the game really does come alive a lot more and makes you think outside the box, which is satisfying when it pays off. But a really nice party game, that is Concept. Penultimately, we have My Farm Shop. So I've really been gushing about this game as a family weight kind of category for most of the year, really. This one is a twist on the Machikoro, a space-based mechanism where you're rolling dice and using those dice to activate cards and claim new cards to add to your little tableau of cards. This one, you have physical resources, you're collecting them and selling them using particular cards, and you have some really good mitigation here with these burlap sacks, which you can let you kind of move up or down those pit values depending on the dice you've rolled, so you're not so pigeonholed into what you can do. Introduced us to 2 new players, my girlfriend and my brother's girlfriend, and they both really enjoyed it. And I believe, in fact, my girlfriend won her debut game of this one. So fair play to that one. Really good game. Some really good ups and downs in the particular game we had. We had some people lagging really far behind to come back and push to the lead. So yeah, a really fun game, and I absolutely adore it. And I think it's so charming. That is my farm shop. I'm still loving that one. And finally, speaking of more family weight games, played this one with the same group, the 4 of us, Savannah Park. So Savannah Park, this one is the latest Kramer and Kiesling game, a puzzly style game as you have all these different tokens laid out randomly on your board, and then you're flipping them over and fitting them into new spaces, trying to gather up all these animals into their unique packs and combine those animals with the watering holes to get your score. This one is so much fun. I think this one is a real, or has the potential to last for a long time. It doesn't feel like it has anything tacked on. I'm very clean, and those kind of games seem to stand the test of time for me and kind of stick around on my shelves. And this one, I've got no kind of thoughts of parting with it because I think it is that good. So a really lovely family weight game. In fact, one of the best family weight games to come out in modern times, and with my farm shop actually. But yeah, love it, and had another successful game of Savannah Park. So that's just well, that concludes the video really. That's the games I've been playing. So not too many, and again, most of them are light. But I have played some more involved one of my kind of new to me games, which I'll be covering on the monthly roundup on the 1st of January. So be sure to check that video out. But that's it really. So that concludes the video. If you have enjoyed it, please hit like and subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos too. I'll also be sure to check out kienda.co.uk. And for everyone else, I'll see you next time on Chairman of the Board. Bye.